Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be reading you another book, and this one is all about David Bowie. He was in a film that I used to absolutely love when I was a little girl called Labyrinth. I don't know if your parents might have seen it. Anyway, I'm going to read to you all about him. Little David lived with his family in a tiny house on an ordinary street in London, but he had ideas that would take him out of this world. At school, he loved music and dance classes. He had a real talent for singing, and his dance moves were from another planet. His teachers had never seen anything like it before. He spent hours listening to his brother's rock and jazz records. David was so inspired by the power of music that he started to write his own songs. David studied art, music, and design at school. Sometimes his teachers were not quite sure if he was a boy or a girl, but David was just delighted to be himself. One day, he got into a silly fight with his friend George, who punched him in the eye. That punch changed David's look forever and made him strangely magnetic. David and George remained friends, and they formed a group called the Conrads. The rest of the band was happy playing at weddings, but David wanted to become a star. He jumped from band to band looking for a chance, dreaming that one day all the lonely kids on planet Earth would sing his songs out loud. But David knew that a great singer needed to be a great performer too. He decided to mix his music with the most spectacular outfits and dance moves ever seen on stage. David wrote a song about a lonely astronaut, and it became his first big hit. The whole world listened to his song that day, the day the man first walked on the moon. Next, David transformed into an alien rock star called Ziggy Stardust, the coolest space invader the world had ever seen. Dressed as Ziggy, he finally made it to superstardom. David wasn't sure where he was going from there, but he knew that it wouldn't be boring. He kept reinventing himself, and that's what made him David Bowie. Look at all those different looks. I remember that one there, with the mullet. For more than 40 years, he kept exploring new galaxies filled with futuristic sounds. He inspired generations of fans to find their own voice and dare to be different. And by never being afraid to be himself, little David became the most unique star who ever fell to earth. And that's the end of David Bowie. There he is. Bye.